Yeah, guys, what's up? My name is Olakule. Welcome to my channel. A few days ago, like 2 days or 3 days ago, Creflo Dollar came out publicly to announce that every teaching he had made on tithing, on giving tithe or paying tithe, that his followers and people who listen to him should disregard or discard his books on tithing, his recordings or tapes on tithing, and he made it clear that he believed that he's still growing. Of course, that is true. Everyone is still growing, especially when it comes to this knowledge of the truth and knowledge of the scriptures and the doctrine of Christ. Everyone is still growing. And he said he believes now that tithing is not a New Testament practice, that is not compulsory. You pay tithe, and in fact, tithing is not part of New Covenant at all. I want you to listen to him, then I'll come back going to talk about it. This is one of the things we've been saying for years, and they've been telling us that we are arrogant, we are disobedient, blah, blah, blah. Listen, guys, and then I'll come back and talk to you.
I want to start off by saying to you that I'm still growing, and that the teachings that I've shared in times past on the subject of tithing were not correct. And today I stand in humility to correct some things that I've taught for years and believed for years, but could never understand it clearly because I had not yet been confronted with the gospel of grace, which has made the difference. I won't apologize, because if it wasn't for me going down that route, I would have never ended up where I am right now. But I will say that I have no shame at all at saying to you, throw away every book, every tape, and every video I ever did on the subject of tithing, unless it lines up with this. I've done some corrective teaching in the last 10 years, but not to the degree of what we're getting ready to do now. So why is this important? Because religion is sustained by two factors: fear and guilt. And if it's one subject that the church has used for a long time to keep people in fear and guilt, it is in that subject of tithing. And it has to be corrected, and it's got to be corrected now. I may lose some friends, preachers may not ever invite me no more, but I think I've already been through that, so it doesn't matter. Go with me in our text today in the...
Yeah, you're welcome back. You see, he made a very valid point, a statement that he made, and very, very valid. He said, religion is sustained by two factors: fear and guilt. I have said this many years ago, that religion thrives on fear and guilt. See, religion manipulators or religious manipulators, those are the two things they use. They preach messages, they quote scriptures, misinterpret the scriptures, turn the interpretation upside down to scare their followers and their listeners. They guilt trip people, they guilt trip their followers so that they can get the attention, the concentration of their followers, and they can also get to their purses or their accounts. And here is it: the gospel of Christ is called good news of what Jesus did. Now, when you hear something that creates fear, uncertainty, guilt into your spirit, it is not good news. At the hearing of good news, something good happens in the hearts of men. Good news is something that will stir up confidence in you, hope in you, love in you, that will stir up grace in you. And that is the gospel of Jesus Christ. That is what we mean by gospel, good news. Now, I'm happy, so much happy that Creflo Dollar could come out publicly to say this kind of thing. See, the truth is, it is not easy. Guys, it is not really easy. It is not easy at all. That someone who had been preaching a particular doctrine for a very long time, who had gained a lot of followers, who had, in fact, followers outside his church, outside his country, all over the different places all over the world, who had gained access to nations, to big men, even to governors, to presidents of nations, now coming out publicly to say, I humbly ask you that all the teachings I have done on tithing, the books I've written, the um the tapes I have produced, discard all of them. That my teaching on tithing was wrong, was not correct. Man, we need to celebrate him for that. Sincerely, I celebrate him for that. It is not easy. Um, Ego is something that is very difficult for great men to let go. Because the feeling like, how would people feel? How would my followers, those who have been respecting me all these years, those who had seen me as their father, those who had seen me as their mentor, those who had seen me as their role model, those that I can just beckon at once and they will respond to me quickly. How would they feel? You know, that kind of thoughts, that kind of feeling would be in his mind, but he never allowed that to hinder him or to obstruct him from coming out publicly to renounce the wrong teaching he had been doing on tithing. I love him for that. Now, some people began to come up, some critics began to come up with, after he had gathered a lot of millions of dollars from tithing and offering from people and all that, he's now coming out. If truly he had repented, he should be able to do restitution and restore or refund the money he had. No, that's childish now. Come on. That's childish. How many people is it going to refund their money to? How many people? If not you, or you go do it. If it is you, will you do it? You won't do it. So, but I'm so happy that he had said that. Now I'm saying this again. Do not allow anybody to guilt trip you when it comes to serving God, worshiping God, living for God. Okay? God would never for once or at any moment guilt trip people, creates guilt in the hearts of men, creates fear in the hearts of men so that they can worship him. No, that is no more worship. In fact, any service unto the Lord that comes from guilt, from fear, is not acceptable. It's not awesome. It's bad. It's bad. So, guys, Christians, listen to this very well. God does not need your tithe to bless you. It is a lie. In fact, the first person that brought about tithe, who was Abraham, Abraham gave tenth part of his spoil when he went to the war and he conquered the war. He gave it to Melchizedek, not because Melchizedek asked him, not because God told him. It was just his own way of honoring the priest of God, honoring the man of God. That's what he did. So now, when you take it to the level where you make it a compulsion, or you make it compulsory for people to pay tithe, to give tithe, it's a must for them to do that. If they don't do that, God will curse them. If they don't do that, they will lose what is valuable. If you don't do that, no. See, I have no problem with tithing, seriously, as long as nothing is attached to it, no curse is attached to it, or nothing evil is attached to it. You can give your tithe just to support the ministry of your pastor. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But everything is wrong when you tell people if they don't give tithe, things will be tight for them. If they don't give offering, they will be suffering. If they don't give tithe, they will lose their children, or they will die young. I mean, one of the pastors in Nigeria sometimes said that if you don't give your tithe, don't listen to the people who are saying that you don't pay tithe. If you don't pay your tithe, you will die young. Do you want to die young? Do you want your children to die young? I mean, things like that. How could you bring such thing into tithing? It is wrong. Very, very wrong. Very, very ungodly. Very, very antichrist. These are terrible things that we hear in the church. Do not let anybody guilt trip you. Do not let anybody create fear into you. Tithing is not compulsory. Tithing is not what will increase your finances. No. Tithing is not what will protect you from danger. A very funny woman some times ago was giving testimony in our church, and she said They had accident while she was traveling, and she was the only one that was not hurt. And she said it's because she's been faithful in paying her tithe. Come on now. What kind of thing is that? That's very horrible. That's a horrible things to say. That's terrible things to say. So, guys, thank God for Creflo Dollar. Pastor Creflo Dollar, I really, really celebrate God in your life and thank you for coming out publicly and humbly to say this. I know the people who have been saying he's their mentor, he's their father, he's their role model. Many of you will not even follow his suit anymore. Many of you will not even invite him anymore. Many of you will deny him now because he had renounced the way of mammon. And he had renounced the way of deception and manipulation. But those of you who are still greedy, I know you will never follow what he did. You will never follow. Many of you even say he has backslidden. But thank God that God has helped him out. And I believe and I pray that God will continue to help him. And the rest, I'm still waiting for some other pastors who are in the same group with Creflo Dollar. I mean, people who walk the same path, who are in the same group with Creflo Dollar. I won't mention names now. I won't mention names now. So I'm expecting, well, I will mention someone. I'm expecting Joseph Prince to come out to preach the truth about tithing as well. Yeah, Joseph Prince is a fine teacher, a wonderful teacher of the grace, a wonderful teacher of the Bible, very sound. But that area of tithing, sir, we're expecting you to say the truth about it. We know that God is working in the church. God bless you. Let's continue to pray for our pastors and let's continue to also pray for Creflo Dollar that he will be able to stand against every opposition as from this moment. It is well with the Church of God. It is well with the Church of Christ. Thank you guys. God bless you. Please subscribe to my channel and also don't hesitate to give it a thumb up and make your comments. What do you think about this? God bless you.